But why do people gossip? Actually, I think you all know lah, kepo, right? Actually, when I prepare that time, right, when I'm preparing the first point, like, kepo, I also very kepo. So I have 3 C's, and I'll bring you guys to a landing. Okay, my first C, okay, we are communicative creatures. And we know that in the beginning that God created the heavens and the earth, right? And He said, let there be. And it happened, He said, let there be light, and there was light, He said, and then He went on to creating, not much, just day and night and day. He created the light, and then He created the darkness, okay? And after that, that He just said, let there be, then there was the seas, and then the mountain, and then the land and everything, no big deal, just creating some mountain, creating time, easy, for God. No, but I mean seriously, that God created all of that, But God being all-powerful, all-knowing, why did He have to speak it into creation? He could have just sneezed, like those HDB uncle, they, achoo, you all stay in HDB, you all got experienced this before, right? Like those, you stay at this block, the uncle next block, but you sneeze, the whole block opposite also can hear. Okay, like God could have done that, but no, He had to say, let there be light. And then there was light, okay? And then after that, in Genesis 1:26, then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the sea, over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. And out of all the living thing that God created, He created man that can speak. And we not only can communicate, we can communicate at such a profound level of intelligence, that talking is not enough. We must have poems, must have prose, must have movies, must have music, then must have social media. And then social media not enough, must have Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Hello, why do you need so many? Okay, but that is how creative we are and how much, we like to communicate, in whatever forms it is. And even so, in Jesus' last moment before dying on the cross, okay, in John 19 verse 30, He said, it is finished, and bowing His head, He gave up His spirit. I don't know about you, okay, but when I'm in pain, right, I really don't want to talk at all. But Jesus, right, at His dying breath, in so much pain, what is cramps compared to Him on the cross? The meat come out, can see the bone, then, it's really very jialat, okay? And it's not just a physical pain, but in emotionally, mentally as well. And yet He chose to verbalize, the 3 words, it is finished. For what? Why? Maybe because we were meant to speak, and there is power in our speech. And the enemy knows that. But do you know that? Point number 2, okay, we are curious creature. And we are very kepo, and I know got some Caucasians, in our midst right here. So I'd like to just explain to you what kepo means. Kepo actually means to be nosy. And we're not just nosy, we are nosy about other people's business, not just any business, but this business must be juicy enough. Then we'll be interested, correct? You tell me the person they eat Hokkien Mee, I don't care. Must tell me, the person go out with so and so that day, they're like, really? Tell me more. Correct? Okay, we have an appetite, to acquire information. But not just any information. We want something that is interesting. We want to be wowed. We want to be fascinated. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? And I think that's why gossips are so appealing to us sometimes. But I also realize that gossips are only appealing when it's not about someone you love. Because curiosity is a neutral characteristic. I think so, okay? It could be good if someone is constantly curious because that person could be acquiring knowledge, trying new things, exploring new things, learning new things, growing themselves. That's great. But curiosity for the sake of just being curious, maybe not so much, right? If you're just curious because you kepo or you want to hao lian, then what's the point? Okay? In 1 Corinthians 8:1-3, it says that knowledge puffs up, but love edifies. And if anyone thinks that he knows anything, he knows nothing, yet as he ought to know. But if anyone loves God, this one is known by Him. And I think at the end of the day, we all want to be deeply known and yet truly loved. And that brings us to our last point. We are created for connection. And Brené Brown would say this, that real connection is built upon trust and vulnerability. But first, if I want to be deeply known and truly loved, I must first be truly known. I must show up as myself with all my 超宽 and all my flaws and all my bad habits. I mean, of course, you don't go and tell everybody your deepest, darkest secrets. But I'm just saying that, you have to be real and authentic, right? But one of the things, that hinder vulnerability and trust and connection is gossip. And I want you all to watch a video. Okay, Brené Brown is saying that a connection between two persons of sharing of information and communication is like a vault.
The vault. What I share with you, you will hold in confidence. What you share with me, I will hold in confidence. But you know what we don't understand? We don't understand the other side of the vault. That's only one door on the vault. Here's where we lose trust with people. If a good friend comes up to me and says, oh my God, did you hear about Caroline? They're getting a divorce, and it is ugly. I'm pretty sure her partner's cheating. You have just shared something with me that was not yours to share. And now my trust for you, even though you're gossiping and giving me the juice, now my trust for you is completely diminished. Does that make sense? So the vault is not just about the fact that you hold my confidences. It's that in our relationship, I see that you acknowledge confidentiality. Here's the tricky thing about the vault. A lot of times, we share things that are not ours to share as a way to hotwire connection with a friend, right? If you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me. That's our, yes or no? Like, our closeness is built on talking bad about other people. You know what I call that? Common enemy intimacy. What we have is not real. The intimacy we have is built on hating the same people. And that's counterfeit. That's counterfeit trust. That's not real.
And I believe, in every situation, you can either respond in fear or in love. And gossiping, is a response in fear, okay? I want connection. Maybe I want to connect with Ling Yuan, okay? But I'm scared to be myself, I don't want to share about myself. Later she think, like, why you keep talking about yourself? This person's so narcissistic. So what do? Talk about other people, lor. And that's what gossip is like, it's counterfeit trust, and counterfeit connection. But what does responding in love looks like? It looks like simply showing up as you are. And I know that it's not always easy. And neither am I asking you to share your deepest, darkest secret with the whole world or be best friends with the whole world and trust everybody as they come into your life. But, why not have conversations that are honest and real, like if I meet like Lei, instead of talking about somebody else, I can say, Lei, what's the one thing that makes you happy recently? What's that one thing that makes you proud? So I maybe for me it's like, recently I ran after 5 years of not exercising. True story, Recently I ran after 5 years of not exercising. When I met Lilin, that's the first thing I tell her, hey, recently I run. And with that one sentence, right, she concluded that I'm very sporty. Can you imagine like what gossip can do? With one sentence, the person already have an impression of who you are.